All right, let's just get right into it. Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a business leader, an executive, or honestly anyone steering the ship of corporate strategy right now, you are standing at a literal crossroads when it comes to AI. Today, we're going to break down a massive disconnect that is happening in boardrooms everywhere. Our goal is to give you a clear, outcome-driven look at the real, tangible risks of corporate AI adoption. Because honestly, the things you're terrified of right now, they might actually be the wrong things entirely. It's a pretty stark way to look at it, but here is the exact question every C-suite needs to answer today. Are you protecting your data so aggressively that you're accidentally guaranteeing your own irrelevance? We're seeing companies absolutely obsessed with absolute security, locking down every single digital door. But we have to ask, what is the hidden cost of prioritizing that airtight security over speed and innovation? So, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The AI security paradox. 2. The shadow IT problem. 3. Beware synthetic competence. 4. Stagnation versus productivity. 5. The zero trust data policy. And finally, 6. Securing your AI future. Let's get to it. All right, section 1, the AI security paradox. A lot of this panic really goes back to this one moment in early 2023. You probably remember this. Samsung engineers accidentally leaked highly sensitive source code just by pasting it into ChatGPT. The tech world completely panicked. And what followed was just this massive knee-jerk reaction. Corporate legal teams and IT departments rushed to design incredibly restrictive policies. They aggressively locked down browser extensions. They completely banned public chatbots. And since then, corporate America has spent billions, literally billions, trying to achieve this illusion of airtight data security. But think about it like commercial aviation in its very early days. If your ultimate goal is absolutely zero plane crashes, well, the easiest solution is just to force every single aircraft to stay parked on the tarmac forever. Sure, you eliminate the risk entirely, but you completely miss the entire point of having the technology in the first place. Which brings us to section 2, the shadow IT problem. I want you to consider this one single data point from the security firm Cyberhaven. Over 11% of corporate data being pasted into AI tools today contains confidential information. 11%. We always tend to picture data exposure as some rogue hacker in a hoodie breaking into a mainframe, right? But the reality? The silent, actual risk is just everyday habits. It's a marketing manager who pastes a messy, unreleased product strategy into a free AI tool just because they need to clean up the formatting before a 5 o'clock deadline. Or it's a financial analyst asking a chatbot to summarize a sensitive pre-earnings spreadsheet. They really don't mean any harm, they're just trying to be efficient. But in 30 seconds, boom, they've permanently leaked your intellectual property into the public training data of a commercial language model. So the crucial takeaway here is that just saying no doesn't actually work. When you create these high-friction security policies and just block the front door, your employees don't actually stop using AI. They just find a side window. They start using their personal phones, or they download these seemingly innocent browser extensions that just happen to have AI quietly baked into the background. Basically, you're driving usage underground into a highly toxic layer of shadow IT that your IT team can't monitor at all. On the flip side, enabling ecosystems actually provides secure, approved tools out in the open. You cannot fight the human desire for efficiency with a corporate firewall. It's just not going to happen. The habit that's exposing your business isn't actually employee prompts. It's executive delays in providing safe, sanctioned tools. Moving on to section 3, beware synthetic competence. Now, this is where the real operational threat lies: synthetic competence. This is the ability of large language models to generate highly polished, incredibly authoritative, but entirely inaccurate work. Picture this. An AI generates a beautifully formatted spreadsheet for your product roadmap, and it comes complete with competitor pricing and customer churn projections. The logic flows beautifully. It looks perfect. So your executive team signs off on a $2 million marketing campaign. But what if all that competitor pricing was entirely fabricated by the AI? You see, AI doesn't leave the usual breadcrumbs of sloppy human work. There are no typos, no hesitant phrasing. A frontier model will deliver a hallucinated lie with the absolute unwavering confidence of a seasoned partner at McKinsey. Flawless formatting is now frequently hiding completely fictional data. We are literally drowning in beautiful garbage. So why do we keep falling for this? Well, it's a psychological phenomenon called automation bias. It's our deeply ingrained tendency to trust automated systems way more than our own human judgment. When an AI spits out a perfect Gantt chart or a complex financial model, our critical thinking essentially clocks out and takes a lunch break. We just assume the machine did the heavy lifting, so we completely skip the tedious fact-checking phase. And this creates a terrifying organizational echo chamber. Employees use AI to draft memos, their managers use AI to summarize those memos, and then executives use AI to analyze the summaries. By the time that data actually reaches your desk, the original verified facts have totally vanished, replaced by this smooth, glossy, unverified narrative. All right, section 4, stagnation versus productivity. Let's anchor this business impact with a really concrete number, 25%. A major study by researchers at Harvard Business School found that consultants who used AI finished realistic, everyday business tasks 25% faster than those who didn't. That is a massive efficiency gain. But wait, it doesn't even stop at speed. Look at this next metric. Those exact same consultants using AI produced 40% higher quality results than their analog peers. Think about that for a second. While corporate legal teams are spending years obsessing over the tiny statistical chance of a minor data exposure, your competitors are using that exact same time to operate almost twice as fast, and they're producing vastly superior work. And this introduces what we call the stagnation penalty. Look, failing to adopt AI rapidly just ensures a slow, agonizing slide into complete obsolescence. Legacy businesses that try to maintain absolute AI bans are going to watch their operational costs skyrocket. And worse, dynamic top-tier talent is going to actively flee those slow analog organizations because nobody wants to work like that anymore. Yes, a minor data leak might cost you a fine or a frustrating PR headache for sure, but stagnation is an absolute existential threat to your business. The company that moves too slowly out of fear is eventually just going to get acquired by the company that moved fast and actually managed the risk. Which leads right into section 5, the zero trust data policy. Okay, the standard QA process as we know it is officially dead. You have to immediately pivot your workflows away from checking formatting and shift toward aggressively auditing the underlying source data. What you need is to implement a zero trust data policy across every single department. Basically, you have to treat every piece of internal AI output exactly how you would treat an anonymous tip from a total stranger on the street. You have to inspect the seams, demand the raw receipts, and check the primary source math. The most critical role in your corporate structure is very soon going to be the auditor, the person whose entire job description is to aggressively distrust the machine. Making this work requires a massive mindset shift for leadership. The outdated mindset relies on endless compliance checklists and just banning public chatbots outright. But here's the reality. Software giants are already building AI directly into enterprise software, like Microsoft Copilot and Google Workspace. Your employees are getting exposed without even visiting a chatbot website. So the necessary mindset has to be all about enablement. Leaders absolutely must establish a clear, permissive path by providing secure enterprise-grade AI sandboxes from day one. If you don't give your team a safe sandbox to play in, they are gonna go play in the mud. Major providers already ensure that data entered into their enterprise tiers is not used to train public models. So give them those secure tools. And our final section, section 6, securing your AI future. Okay, here are the 3 actionable steps you need to take to your very next leadership meeting. Number 1, provide an enterprise sandbox immediately. Give them a secure environment so employees have zero excuse to use unsecured personal software. Number 2, implement those zero trust data policies we talked about, making sure that auditing source math is completely mandatory. And number 3, which is probably the most important cultural shift you can make, reward error catching. You have to stop rewarding your employees purely for how fast they can churn out reports. Because when managers demand immediate turnaround times without looking at the process, they just force dangerous shortcuts. Instead, start rewarding employees specifically for the errors they catch in those AI outputs. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final provocative thought to take back to your teams today. Which specific decision did your team make this week based entirely on an AI summary that nobody actually fact-checked? It's kind of a scary thought, right? The ultimate irony of this whole AI boom is glaringly obvious. The more advanced our technology becomes, the more we have to rely on our most primitive human trait, stubborn, relentless doubt. Thanks so much for joining me today. Now go secure your sandbox and start asking those hard questions.